They say you won't feel it at first. The world shifts quietly beneath your feet, like a slow-moving tide pulling the sands from under your toes. Elijah Storm, a modern-day seer who walks the thin line between reality and the unseen, has been warning for years about a fracture no one can deny. This fracture isn't visible to the naked eye, no thunderous crash or blazing light, just a whisper, a subtle tremor in the soul of humanity. It's the moment when the collective heart of mankind begins to split, silently and invisibly, into two distinct paths. Elijah calls them the awakened and the lost. At first glance, they walk side by side, laugh at the same jokes, breathe the same air, yet inside, they are worlds apart. The air feels heavier these days, charged with a strange energy, like a secret humming beneath the surface of everyday life. Dreams themselves are changing. People tell Elijah of visions that bleed into waking hours, fleeting glimpses of a deeper reality just beyond reach. There's an urgency now, but it's quiet, like the calm before a storm that has no name. Elijah's voice softens as he recounts the whispers echoing through the collective consciousness. Stories passed down like ancient firelight, prophecies half remembered, warnings buried in the dust of forgotten time. No one knows exactly when this split began. Some say it started with subtle shifts in behavior, small cracks in the way people see the world. Others feel a growing dissonance, a restless tug between hope and fear. Elijah warns, this isn't about politics, not about nations or ideologies. It's a schism of souls, a divide between those who will awaken to a new frequency of existence and those who remain trapped in shadows. He urges you to listen closely, to feel the vibration beneath your skin. Are you among the awakened, sensing the call to rise beyond illusion? Or are you drifting in the comfort of the lost, lulled by the noise of a world designed to keep you asleep? The choice is yours, but the fracture deepens with every moment of silence. As the quiet fracture in humanity widens, Elijah Storm turns to an ancient text that has haunted him for years. A cryptic prophecy penned centuries ago by a mysterious figure known only as Nostradamus. Elijah knows this isn't just dusty history. It's a map, a warning etched in time for this very moment. He pulls from the shadows the forgotten quatrain from the 8th century, a stanza so obscure it's often dismissed as poetic rambling. But Elijah hears something different, a call to awaken. The great multitude will awaken, he reads aloud, his voice trembling with a mix of awe and urgency. One part drawn to the light, the other swallowed by darkened waters. It's not a battle of swords or armies, but a deeper division, a schism within the very soul of humanity. Elijah's eyes search the room, as if daring his listeners to grasp the weight of these words. He explains how this prophecy isn't about a sudden explosion or disaster, but a gradual unfolding. Imagine reality peeling back in layers, revealing a hidden dimension where people coexist but experience life in entirely different ways, like living in parallel worlds separated by vibration and awareness. Some rise above illusions, shedding false beliefs and stepping into clarity. Others sink deeper into distractions, chasing shadows disguised as truth. Elijah's voice lowers, thick with passion. This is the moment when perception itself fractures. Not everyone who sees will truly see. Some remain blind, caught in a spell woven by centuries of manipulation. Education, entertainment, technology, all designed to keep them tethered to fear and confusion. The room feels electric with tension. Elijah's story becomes a mirror, reflecting the audience's own struggles with doubt, awakening, and the search for meaning. You may feel it already, he says, a restlessness inside, a call to break free from systems that once defined you. It's lonely, it's painful, but it's real. The prophecy doesn't condemn the lost. It mourns their sleep. Elijah invites you to listen to your own truth. Are you tuning into the frequencies of light or drifting into the dark waters? The choice is subtle but profound, shaping not just your destiny, but the future of all humanity. Following the ancient prophecy and the revelation of humanity's spiritual schism, Elijah Storm's voice grows urgent. The split, he says, doesn't announce itself with chaos or fire. It begins in whispers, tiny fractures in the way we think, dream, and live. He pauses, letting the weight of his words settle like a shadow over the room. You might notice it in your dreams, strange, vivid visions that spill into your waking hours, moments when time seems to loop or shatter. A feeling that the world is more than it seems, layered and mysterious. Elijah's eyes pierce the crowd, searching for those who feel the same pull inside their souls. The awakened speak of these synchronicities, signs that reality itself is shifting. They feel a rising pressure in their chest, an inner voice urging them to break free from old systems, old patterns, the very structures that once defined their lives. It's like your soul is being tuned to a new frequency, Elijah says softly. You hear the silence differently. You sense connections where others see chaos. But the lost, those still trapped in the old rhythm, double down on distractions. More news, more drama, endless consumption. Elijah describes them as sleepwalkers, caught in a world of noise and illusion. They clutch comfort in chaos, mistaking the distraction for safety. The divide grows every day, a slow unraveling of a shared reality. Two people can witness the same event, yet see entirely different truths. One perceives manipulation, the other, salvation. Elijah warns, this fracture is silent, but irreversible, like two trains slowly veering onto separate tracks. They can see each other, but they'll never meet again. Despite the loneliness this awakening brings, Elijah's message carries hope. If you feel this calling, you're not alone. This is your soul remembering. The path is hard, shadowed by doubt and illusion, but it leads to clarity. He urges viewers to listen carefully to their own inner signals, the dreams, the gut feelings, the inexplicable moments of insight. These are the markers of the split, the first steps toward the light. Elijah Storm's voice softens, yet carries a powerful weight as he paints the stark contrast between the awakened and the lost. These two groups walk the same streets, share the same skies, yet live in completely different worlds, he explains. The awakened are those who feel when something is off, even if they can't explain why. They carry an ancient knowing, a restless hunger for truth that won't be silenced. He describes the awakened as sentinels, watchers who see beyond the surface, haunted not by fear, but by the burden of knowledge. They are often misunderstood, feeling isolated, because they perceive the world through a lens others do not share. Elijah's tone grows more compassionate. It's a lonely path, but one of profound transformation. In sharp contrast, the lost are depicted as wanderers trapped in a maze of illusions. They are not evil, Elijah insists, but hypnotized, captured by a spell woven through generations via education, entertainment, and technology. These individuals clutch onto familiar systems, finding comfort in endless noise and distraction. Their eyes are open, yet their vision is clouded. Like looking through smoked glass, he says solemnly. Elijah warns of a great inversion, a time when good is disguised as evil and truth is punished, while deception is rewarded. The lost drink from poisoned wells and praise the bitter taste, he says, his voice heavy with sorrow, yet hope remains. Elijah calls upon the awakened to stand firm, to embrace the painful process of purification. Fire in alchemy burns away the impurities. You are being remade, not destroyed. He urges the watchers to recognize their role as beacons in the dark, to reach out and help those still lost find their way. The journey is arduous, Elijah admits, filled with shadows and doubts, but it leads to clarity and light. This division is not meant to separate us forever, but to challenge us to evolve. He closes this segment with a call to unity through awakening, a reminder that even in division, a higher purpose connects all souls. Elijah Storm's tone grows solemn as he unveils one of the greatest dangers facing those on the path of awakening: the false dawn. Not every light is meant to guide you, he warns. There are movements, trends, and spiritual facades that promise enlightenment, but lead only to confusion and control. He describes these false dawns as seductive illusions, comforting mirrors reflecting what the soul wants to see, but hiding the harsh truths beneath. They lure the seekers with whispers of awakening, safe and easy paths that never challenge the deep-rooted systems of power. Elijah's voice tightens with caution. These are traps disguised as breakthroughs, distractions dressed in light. The awakened often face loneliness, isolation, and doubt as they navigate this treacherous terrain. You will be tempted to turn back, to surrender to illusions crafted in the brightest light. Elijah says softly, but unity without fire, the purifying fire of transformation, is a false peace, a uniformity that drowns out the soul's voice. He recalls the prophecy's warning that only those who pierce the mirror with fire will see clearly during times of inversion, when the world's values are flipped upside down. This fire burns deeply, but it doesn't destroy. It purifies and remakes you. Despite the hardship, Elijah's message is one of hope and resilience. The path of awakening is not meant to be easy. It is often solitary, filled with shadow and silence. But through this process, you are being prepared to enter a new reality, one the lost will never perceive. He urges those who feel the call to hold fast to their inner truth and to be wary of false lights. Be cautious. The comfort of the false dawn is seductive, but only the fire of true awakening will lead you to freedom. In closing, Elijah invites the awakened to share their stories, to find strength in community. We are not meant to awaken alone. Together, we become the light that breaks through the darkness. Elijah Storm's voice takes on a tone of cautious optimism as he speaks of the new generation, the seeds of the second dawn. After the first great confusion, he explains, a new wave is rising. Children and souls born with eyes that see beyond the veil. These are not ordinary individuals. They are marked by sensitivity, intuition, and an innate knowing that defies explanation. These children often suffer deeply, Elijah continues, misunderstood, misdiagnosed, labeled as anomalies by systems that fear what they cannot control or comprehend. But to the awakened, they are sacred. They are the bridge between the broken world they inherit and the hidden world they are destined to restore. Elijah's passion shines as he calls on the community to protect and guide these fragile lights. They awaken faster than ever before, and it is our responsibility to nurture their gifts, shield them from the noise, and help them claim the power they were born with. He reminds listeners that this is no small task. It demands vigilance, love, and unwavering commitment. Beyond the children, Elijah speaks of the guardians, silent warriors without crowns or titles. They are healers, artists, wanderers, and even strangers we meet for a moment but never forget. These guardians keep the gateways open, ensuring the path of awakening remains visible. They do not seek power or fame, he says, but serve as beacons in the darkness. Elijah warns that awakening is not about escape, but about engagement. The awakened are called not just to rise, but to reach back, to become the hands that lift others. He quotes the prophecy, "The sun shall rise through the eyes of the few, and through them warm the eyes of the many." This part of the journey is the hardest, filled with sacrifice and solitude, but also profound meaning. Elijah's message resonates like a rallying cry for all who hear it, to stand firm, protect the seeds, and light the way forward. As Elijah's storm draws his message to a close, his voice is both calm and compelling, a call to conscious choice. The split is here, he says, not as a sudden event, but as an unfolding reality that touches every soul. Two earths are spiraling side by side, one darkened by control, fear, and illusion, the other blooming with light, resonance, and remembrance. He reminds us that this division is not about geography or politics, but about the vibration of the soul. Each day, each moment, you choose which earth you will inhabit, not through votes or rituals, but through your daily intentions, your thoughts, and your actions. Elijah's tone softens as he speaks of the profound power in this choice. To move toward truth, healing, and sovereignty is to step into the earth that reflects your clarity. To surrender to comfort, noise, and validation is to remain in the earth of confusion. He urges viewers to recognize the signs of the split, the moments when reality feels fractured, when two people see the same event in opposite ways. These fractures are not mistakes, but signposts guiding you to awareness. In a heartfelt appeal, Elijah invites all who hear his words to share their experiences, their awakenings, and even their doubts. You are not alone, he reassures. The awakened may be scattered, but they are connected by a higher field, a network of thought, heart, and intention. He closes with a powerful reminder. The greatest illusion is that the soul is alone. The final trap is isolation. Reach out, speak your truth, be the beacon in the noise. Elijah's last words echo like a flame lighting the darkness. The shift is here. The split is real. The time is now. What will you choose?